Very well. First of all, thank you for coming. Those who don't know me, my name is Kithure Kindiki, CS for Interior, and I'm here with my colleagues from the ministry and from the security agencies. I have Nur Gabo, who is our Deputy Inspector General of in charge of the administration police, and is also the commander for Operation Maliza Uhalifu, which is taking place in 6 counties in northern Rift Valley, fighting bandits and getting rid of these criminals. I also have my colleagues from the county here, the county security and intelligence team, led by the county commissioner for Laikipia, Mr. Kanyiri, and the other heads of the various arms of security and intelligence in this county. We've spent the day here in Laikipia, most of the day, and we came here first and foremost to assess the progress as well as the challenges that we are facing in the operation, which, as you're aware, began on 13th of February 2023, and that is Operation Maliza Uhalifu. This operation is taking place in 6 counties of our country, including, or namely, Baringo, Laikipia, Samburu, Turkana, West Pokot, and Elgeyo Marakwet. I am glad to report that so far we have registered significant progress, and I want to take this opportunity while I'm here in Laikipia to thank County Commissioner and the County Security and Intelligence team, together with the officers, security officers who have been deployed here, for a job well done. I think so far we have managed to sustain an onslaught against armed criminals and bandits who have been terrorizing our people, killing people, injuring people, stealing their livestock for a very long time. And particularly, even as I come here today, I decided, rather than getting the briefs from the team here, I have had chance to proceed first to the operation area, and I've been able to assess the situation in some of the areas which we have gazetted as disturbed and dangerous, and we have also been able to visit one of the camps, the formed unit camps, which is the anti-stock theft unit camp in Naibor, and I particularly chose to land at Naibor as to camp to thank our officers from that camp, because 2-3 days ago they were able to procure a very successful recovery of livestock which had been stolen from one of the ranches in Laikipia North. And therefore, I went there first of all to thank those officers for the sacrifice and the commitment, and just to tell them that the government of Kenya appreciates what our officers in this operation are doing. Of course, that was a multi-agency effort, and therefore I must thank all the other formations that were part of that operation, where we had the National Police Service, we had the Rangers from the ranches, and we had the support, as usual, of our partners in this operation, the Kenya Defence Forces. We are very grateful on behalf of the government of Kenya. I'm very grateful to the team here in Laikipia, and especially the officers in the operation area for working seamlessly together in a multi-agency format to deliver peace, stability, and security for our people. In that particular incident that occurred, I think, on Friday night, 75 heads of cattle were had been stolen, and were recovered the following day. All of them, except 2, which in the exchange of fire were accidentally shot, but the entire flock was recovered, handed over to the owner happily the following day. Therefore, I went to Naibor this afternoon just to thank our officers and to show solidarity with them and to give them moral support. Once again, on behalf of the government of Kenya, we are grateful. These are the stories we want to hear. We want to hear more stories of bandits who have been defeated. We want to hear more stories of bandits whose effort has been thwarted and frustrated. We want to hear stories of recovery, and we want our people to enjoy their right to property without having to fear criminals. So I'm very grateful. So we have had that very good chit-chat with those officers. I have left them in very good, very high spirits. And I have delivered the message of the government of Kenya to all our officers across the country that in the coming weeks and months, we are upscaling the police equipment modernization program to great levels to provide even more sophisticated equipment for personal protection of our officers, equipment for aerial security operations, including unmanned vehicles, armored vehicles, including armored aircrafts, because we want to resolve the security problem of this country permanently so that we can move on to development and start catching up with first world countries that are pushing the agenda for roads and water, the agenda for trade and investment, the agenda for people-to-people integration, and we cannot be a modern 21st century country aiming to move to the first world if we have a small number of criminals terrorizing the rest of the population. I have given my assurance as your Minister for Security that we will defeat bandits. It doesn't matter how long it takes. And it's not going to take long, by the way. We will crush banditry and make it part of our history as a country. It's barbaric, it's primitive, it's backward. Permit a small group, a tiny minority of our people, to terrorize millions of people and hold back a whole region backwards. Roads. We could not be able to open roads in some of those areas. We could not send contractors to do water projects because they will be attacked by bandits. So I am happy to report a very good progress, and I must thank all the officers of the National Police Service, our friends and counterparts, officers from the Kenya Defence Forces, the National Police Service, the Rangers, and everybody, including communities that have helped us with useful intelligence. Number 2, I've been able to assess one of the areas that I had gazetted as disturbed and dangerous areas in the orders that I issued in Maliza on 12th of March 2023. And that is Mukogodo Forest. And I can report we've made significant progress in removing the threat of bandits from that difficult area, but there is still work to be done. I have given firm instructions for a thorough combing of the Mukogodo Forest in the next few hours. And therefore, we don't expect members of the public of whatever description. We want to ensure Mukogodo Forest is completely free and sealed off. And therefore, we are upscaling our police service was critically injured by the status of security here, and I am very confident the team here is doing a good job. And please, we want to request members of the public to give us feedback, both positive and negative feedback. Let us know where we need to improve on our service delivery, and we want to assure you that we have the best political goodwill to deliver our national security in a manner that every Kenyan is able to feel safe and secure in their own country. His Excellency the President has sent me greetings to the people of Laikipia, and I want all our officers in the field here, in the various categories, in various cadres, various ranks, to know that the government under the leadership of President William Ruto has made a conscious decision that we must ensure that all security agencies and public officials serve the people of Kenya fairly, efficiently, and without bias. And in particular, all public servants, including security officials, are instructed to keep away from partisan politics of whatever level and concentrate on the core mandate of delivering security as a public good, which must be delivered impartially, dispassionately, and for all the people of Kenya. The issue of the transaction of politics as its own players, we are not part of that process. There are other people, there are politicians from this side, the other side. They can do the political issues. Our work is to make sure that every Kenyan is safe, our country is safe, and people who come here find, even the visitors who visit Kenya, find a stable country governed by the rule of law, a secure country which can attract local and international investments. That is what had brought me here. I am very happy for what is happening here, and I want to thank again the members of the public and everybody else who is on our side as we try to make sure our country is safe. Every person who is praying for us, who is giving us ideas on how to improve on our service delivery, we are very, very grateful. Members of the state, thank you very much. You've been profiling, positive messaging, sensitive messaging that has the overall objective of ensuring that the national security interest is paramount to every other thing. And I know I've had a discussion with most of you, because in our country we must make a deliberate choice to put our national interest, our national security first. And therefore, we don't want to be a country which glorifies bandits. You know, a bandit does one small thing somewhere, and it is hyped until it looks like it's the most important thing. Those are criminals. We have criminals in different countries, dangerous criminals of various types. Bandits is one type, terrorists are another type. Those religious terrorists that are killing people, like what has happened in Shakahola, they are also dangerous criminals. And therefore, I like what I'm seeing coming out from our media, so that we don't get into petty wars and start saying, glorifying bandits, or trying to say government is fighting the church, government is doing this. Our job is to deal with criminals of whatever shape, whatever size, whatever description. They hide in church, we smoke them out from there. They hide in the gorges and the ravines and the Mukogodo forest, we smoke them out from there. And that is the message. I therefore thought I should thank the press for doing a wonderful patriotic duty, even as you retain your independence of telling the people of Kenya the truth. The national interest must always prevail. And I think we are getting there. Many countries have had public interest supersedes other interests. Nawatakia baraka za Mwenyezi Mungu, na wacha nikomee hapa. Nimekuwa hapa Laikipia siku ya leo. Yetu Operation Maliza Uhalifu ambayo inaendelea katika kaunti 6 ikiwemo hii kaunti ya Laikipia, na nashukuru kamishna wa kaunti wakuu wa vitengo vya usalama hapa kwa kazi njema ambao wamefanya. Vilevile nashukuru maofisa wetu wa usalama wakiwemo maofisa wa jeshi ya taifa na wote ambao wameungana na sisi ili kupigana na hii janga la majangili waliojihami msitu wa Mkogodo, na bado tuko na habari ya kwamba kuna wahalifu wachache bado wanajificha pale. Nimetoa amri ya kwamba lazima pia tukoroge Mkogodo hapa. Wale wakora wachache wanajificha hapo, siku zao zimehesabiwa. Tutawafurusha pale, na huo msitu tutaufunga. Ni msitu wa serikali, tutaufunga. Hakuna mtu ambaye anaruhusiwa kuwa pale, kwa sababu tumeweka katika gazeti la kitaifa ya kwamba ile ni mahali pa uhalifu na watu watoke pale. And we are not kidding. Sio ati ni mchezo. Hii matangazo hatufanyi matangazo ya bure. Kwa hivyo watoke pale, wasipotoka ni sawa, tutawatoa kwa njia moja ama ingine. Tutatumia mbinu zote, kwa sababu katika taifa letu hatuwezi kukubali wakora wachache kuumiza wananchi, kuchukua mali yao na kuwaua kiholela. Vile vile nimeenda kushukuru wale maafisa wetu wa kambi yetu ya Naibor, kwa sababu wameweza kuokoa ng'ombe 75 ambao walikuwa wamechukuliwa na majangili, na nimewashukuru kwa niaba ya serikali ya Kenya, kwa niaba ya rais na kwa niaba ya sisi zote. Tumesema asante, na hii ndio maneno tunataka kusikia kwenda mbele. Ng'ombe zikiibiwa zinapatikana, mkora akifanya jambo tunamshughulikia mara moja. Kwa hivyo nimewashukuru pale. Vile vile ofisa wetu wa police reserve moja aliumizwa na risasi ya majangili, ako hapa hospitali ya Nanyuki. Nimeenda nikamwangalia, tumelipa, serikali imelipa bili yake ya hospitali, na vile vile tumesema ya kwamba maofisa wetu wote tutawapatia bima ya afya ya NHIF ili wakiumia wakiwa kazini waweze pata matibabu. Vile vile tutaangalia marupurupu yao kidogo na sare ya kazi. We are also looking at the uniform and the allowance we are giving our National Police Service, kwa sababu wanafanya kazi nzuri hata kabla ya maofisa wetu wa polisi na wanajeshi kufika pale. Mimi nashukuru ushirikiano baina ya wanajeshi wetu na ofisa wetu wa polisi na police service na wananchi, na hii vita dhidi ya magaidi tutafaulu tukiwa pamoja. Kwa hivyo tumekuwa hapa pia na mkutano na kamati ya usalama ya jimbo hili la Laikipia, na tumeshukuru sana, na tuko na viongozi wengine hapa, hata deputy governor I think amekuwa hapa, ako hapa, ni deputy governor wetu wa Laikipia amekuwa hapa kwa niaba ya serikali ya county. We are working together, wanatusaidia kufungua barabara zingine ili usalama na mambo ya usalama iwe rahisi. Tunashukuru deputy governor, uambie governor na county government yote ya Laikipia tunashukuru kwa ushirikiano wenu. Ya mwisho kabisa kutangaza ya kwamba ile amri ambazo tulikuwa tumetoa na tukaweka katika gazeti la rasmi ya serikali ya amri ya curfew na amri ya sehemu ambazo ni za kiuhalifu na sehemu zilizotatizika, disturbed and dangerous areas, sehemu hatari na sehemu zilizotatizika, those places, those orders are reviewed. They have been extended with effect from midnight today for another 30 days. And please don't ask me when the operation will end, because I don't know. The operation will end when we are done with the bandits. And finally, even when the operation is called off, whenever that will be, we will not pull back the presence of our security officers from this region ever again. In fact, we are working on modalities of establishing permanent presence of security forces to make sure that we have sustainable peace and security. And therefore, going into the future, we will not allow ourselves to retreat, to allow those criminals to venture back into the communities again. We are thinking of doubling the number of security agencies in this region, ×2. And if need be, we will increase again and again and again. And for the criminals, we have enough police officers in this country, and we have enough military officers in this country. So you better take it from us that we are not kidding. We are not doing some simple things here and there. We are here permanently. We must secure our country, and there are no two ways about it. As I said before Parliament the other day, it's either Kenya or bandits. It's either the government or bandits. And I know Kenya and the government of Kenya will not give way. It is the bandits that must yield.